Hey guys, what is going on? Lego Man Wunsch here, and welcome back to another video where today I'll be explaining why the Throne Room Showdown, the Gamers Market, and the Tournament of Elements are a perfect value at $39.99. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first we'll start with the minifigs, and what I noticed about these sets is that they both have different quantities of minifigs. So first we'll take a look at the Throne Room Showdown minifigs. So firstly, we do have Lloyd, and he did come in a couple of other sets in the Hunted Wave of Ninjago sets. And then we do have Nia, and I believe she might have been in maybe one or two other sets, I'm not 100% sure. And then we do have Skylar, and I believe she is exclusive to this set. So it's great to get an exclusive minifig in a $39 set. And then we do have Pixel in her Samurai X uniform, and she does come in one other set. And then we do have Harumi in this set, which is definitely really awesome to see in such a cheap set. But she did come in another set, and I believe that was like one of the most expensive ones for like the Hunted Wave of Ninjago sets. So next we'll move on to the Gamer Market minifigs. Firstly, we do have Jay, and he does come in most of the sets for this Wave of Ninjago because this is based around Jay's sort of season. So he does come in, like the cheapest set is the Arcade Pods, and then a few other sets. Then we do have Scott, so it's great to see him in such a cheap set because the only other set he does come in was his, like, car. I don't remember the name of it, but, like, it came with Scott and possibly maybe Jay and then Richie. I'm not really 100% sure. But then next we do have Richie, and he does come in, I believe, maybe one or two more sets apart from this one. So it's great to see him in such a cheap set. But then we do have a red visor, and this is actually almost an exclusive one. It is the exact same in the Temple of Madness, but the only difference is this one actually has a gun instead of a shield. Then we have the first and not only exclusive minifig. This is Akino. Hopefully I am saying that correctly. So it's really awesome to see him in a set because he's only in one episode for this wave of Ninjago for the actual season. So it's great to see just a minifig based on him. Then we do have Avatar Nia. Well, Nia's avatar for Prime Empire, which is exclusive. Then we do have Cole's avatar for this wave of Ninjago, which is also exclusive. Then we do have Pink Zane, which is such an awesome minifig, and he is also exclusive. Then the only other minifig for this wave of Ninjago sets is Harumi, and she is also exclusive. So definitely a lot of exclusive minifigs. And what I really loved was that instead of just having one exclusive minifig like this set here, I'm really glad they sort of boosted it up to, I believe, 5 exclusive minifigs, which is definitely really awesome. So finally, now we'll take a look at the Tournament of Elements minifigs. So firstly, we do have a Kai, and I believe this is the same as like the other legacy sets for like Ninjago sets from like seasons 1, 2, and 3, but I'm not 100% sure. Then we also do have Jay, and I don't believe he is exclusive. Then we have the first Elemental Master, Jacob, the Elemental Master of Sound or Music. I'm pretty sure it is Sound though, and he is exclusive. It's just really awesome to see a minifig like that. Then we have the Elemental Master of Gravity, and this is Gravis. He is exclusive. And it's just really awesome to see other Elemental Masters, and instead of just getting like updated versions of the ones we got in the previous Tournament of Elements set. Then we have, I always forget this guy's name, like no, I don't think it's Lobo, but he is the Elemental Master of Nature. Then we do have a not exclusive minifig. This is actually Izor, and he does come in maybe no, I'm pretty sure it is 2 more other Tournament of Element sets for this wave of legacy sets. So what I found really interesting is that the build does have a big impact on the amount of minifigs in this set because this is at like a medium size, so you do get 5 minifigs, whereas the Gamer's Market was like a small build with 3 just small sections, so then the minifig quantity was a little higher, whereas the Tournament Element sets does have 6 minifigs, and it is like a sort of a large scale. So why I think these sets are at a perfect value at $39.99 is that they just don't concentrate on the build for this value because it's sort of a both minifig and build value because if the build was like any bigger, then I definitely think they would raise the price up. So that's why the minifigs are definitely important, but then the build is also important because it'd be definitely a shame to see like a smaller version of this, because then like there'd be features that weren't included. So I'm really glad they sort of scaled it down a bit. But then they also have some really awesome features as well. And then the gamer market set is definitely really interested to have three different sections at like a small sort of a scale build, and then also with all the detailing as well. But then that is why we have the most minifigs for that set out of the other two, because they are small builds, so the value is sort of mostly based on the minifigs, which I definitely think is really awesome because there is a lot of exclusive and really awesome minifigs for that, especially Pink, Zane. And then the Tournament for the Elements set is the biggest one, but it does have 6 minifigs, and then 3 of them are exclusive. So that is just really awesome because I definitely think the build for that scale, it does mostly focus on the build, but then there are 3 exclusive minifigs for that price. So, with the minifigs and the build included, I definitely think it's at the perfect value because they've actually balanced it out really nicely. Instead of just having it all focused on the build and like having maybe all non-exclusive minifigs for the set, they've actually tried to include one or more exclusive minifigs for the set to get that perfect value. And I definitely really love how each of them do have one or more exclusive minifigs. So for instance, the Throne Room Showdown does have one exclusive minifig, and then the Gamers Market does have, I believe, 5 exclusive minifigs, or maybe one more less, and then the Tournament of Elements set does have 3 exclusive minifigs, and I can see why they've actually done this, because this is at a small scale, so they didn't want to have like they wanted to have one exclusive minifig and possibly maybe no others, because then like that value would be lost in the build because they're actually including another exclusive minifig. Whereas the Gamers Market, that's a small build with like 3 different sections, and it mostly focuses on the minifigs, so that's why they do have more than one, and I'm pretty sure it is 5 exclusive minifigs because like it's small, so they include a lot more minifigs. Whereas the Tournament of Elements set is at a large scale, so they wanted to include maybe like 3 of each, so 3 non-exclusive minifigs and then 3 exclusive minifigs. And that's what I find really interesting about these $339 sets, because they both all have such a perfect value with the build and the minifigs. But what I find really interesting is that this one has 1 exclusive minifig, whereas the Gamers Market does have, I believe, 5 or less minifigs. And this one is, well, the build is actually smaller compared to this one. This is at like a medium size, and this only does have 1 exclusive minifig. But I believe the reason why they've done that is because they made most of the value for the Throne Room Showdown with the build, so they didn't want to include like an extra minifig, because then they would have to raise the price up if it was an exclusive minifig. Whereas this one, I believe they've mostly focused on the minifigs, because there are 5, or as I said, maybe 4 minifigs for the set. And the builds, they are really nicely done, but I believe they've focused on the minifigs more than the Throne Room Showdown minifigs, because these 4 have actually been seen in other sets apart from Skylar. So, hope you guys did enjoy this video, because it was actually really interesting to dive deeper into this, why these 3 LEGO Ninjago sets have such a perfect price at, well, a perfect value at $39.99. And I would definitely love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below about these sets. Which one is your favorite? And if you could choose out of these 3, which ones would you sort of modify to possibly include more minifigs, or modify to actually include a bit more of an interesting build? I would probably say maybe the Gamers Market, maybe focus more on the build, because there's definitely a lot they could have done. Maybe include maybe 1 or 2 more sort of small shops, and then maybe sort of take away one of the exclusive minifigs. But I'm really not 100% sure on what they could have done, because as I said, I definitely think these sets are at a perfect price and definitely balance the minifig and the build quantity really nicely. So as always, guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I can actually say goodbye.